Hi Aries, welcome to your full moon in Libra reading for April 6, 2023. Full moons close out cycles. We are closing out a cycle with the Hermit card as your theme for the next 2 weeks, the Hermit. Seeking and searching, knowledge, looking for wisdom, older people, your elders. Also, it can bring in a feeling of loneliness or wanting to be alone, being very internal, seeking answers. For me, it's very much like digesting the information that you had just taken in or accumulated, right? Because this can be for an expanded time frame. And you're sort of digesting that information, you're coming to conclusions, you're finding wisdom in it. At which point then you can come out and share your wisdom and knowledge with anybody who wants to listen or, is exploring the same themes. So I think it's very helpful. The negative side of the Hermit would be that, and this is usually with the frequency of 9, is that it can be a bit doom and gloom. So we have to be careful that we don't turn to a negative way of thinking with the Hermit. Look for wisdom instead. All right. So let's see how that affects your coming 2 weeks. Again, closing out a cycle here. And you're closing out a cycle with the 8 of Cups. I like that. 8 is a lot of energy, and it's infinite energy, right? It's the infinity symbol. So we're putting a lot of energy behind releasing maybe old emotional attachments, things that once gave us pleasure that may not anymore, or we just sort of have to move on from it now. And it is moving upwards. So it may be with a heavy heart, but we know that when we do release this or when we do move away from it, then it is for the better. We're moving up. And with that, you have the Page of Swords. So there is this interesting thing with the Hermit here in the Page of Swords, because the Page of Swords is seeking to find answers to his questions, to his queries, to the things that are foggy in his mind. Remember that the swords are mental energy. So we have emotions and we have the mental energy, probably using our mental energy to release emotional attachment. Page of Swords is my Taurus card, so you could be working very hard towards that. It's not the devil energy. If it was the devil energy, I would say that it's things that are bad for us, that are really not helping us. But this was something at some point that brought you pleasure, or something that you had built up, and even just the building up of that something gave you pleasure. There's an emotional pleasure attached to the 8 of Cups. But it is also old emotional baggage. And it looks like we are looking for ways to clear that up with the Page of Swords. This is my detective. He does detective work, so you could be looking into finding someone who can help you out with these attachments, looking at information, videos, books, seeking an actual person who can help you to clear. And this is really about clearing the cobwebs from your mind. He uses that sword to swiftly clear away the clouds of his mind. Okay? We'll get more on that in a minute. How are you behaving? Well, indeed, you are behaving like the Hermit. So, there you go. Exactly what I said. You're definitely in search of. Seeking and finding, I believe, here with the Hermit, because you are accumulating information. Okay, and with that you have the King of Wands. So This is my Aries card. This is somebody who is in a position of leadership. This would be managerial type of energy as opposed to like CEO or CFO, that kind of energy. But they are very good in leadership positions. And they could also be somebody who wants to build their own business. My entrepreneurial card is the King of Cups, but the King of Wands has a passion that he wants to build upon. Interesting though, because the King of Wands is associated with Aries. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac, and so they don't actually have someone that they can look towards. They're trailblazers, right? They're the people that go in first to pave the way for the rest of us to make it a little bit easier. And so they don't really have somebody that they can look towards to helping make decisions. And so you seek out information that you can accumulate. I don't feel like there's sort of like a cut and dry, cut and paste kind of thing. It's sort of like you have to accumulate this information, this knowledge, and it can be from the past. It can be experiential, right? We've experienced all this. We're walking away from it. We are accumulating energy, dissecting it, digging deep with this, and also with the Hermit, right? Accumulating it, digesting it, coming out with wisdom. And it can be something that, like I said, that no one has really delved into up until now, because a King of Wands or an Aries is the trailblazer. They're people who go in first. So it might be something that there's not a lot of information out there for, and you have to gather facts and come to those conclusions yourself. All right, and the outcome, you have the Five of Wands. Now, the Five of Wands is a competitive energy, but everybody's trying to work towards the same goal. However, it does cause agitation, as five often does. The frequency of five is change. It's the roller coaster ride. It's exciting, but it's also exhausting. But there is this feeling that we're trying to build something here, and very possibly with a group, with other people. And you have another person card, another court card. So this is the King of Swords. This is Libra for me. So this is my logic and reason. Now you have two kings here, and these are masters. So the King of Wands is a master of his passion, and the King of Swords is master of his intellect, his mind. So the King of Swords is somebody who does not listen to sentimentality. They want facts and figures. They want the cut and dry version. So this may be somebody who's trying to work out this situation here with other people, with the group, or just an internal agitation, all that information that sort of competes with each other, and figuring out how to sort of put it together and make some sort of logical reasoning out of it. Now, these can also be people that you're dealing with. I think you're behaving as yourself here, Aries. The King of Wands is your card. This is probably somebody else. Or it can be the faculty that you use, right? Because Virgo is a very logical sign, and the Hermit is associated with the sign Virgo. So even though it's an earth sign, they're still very analytical. It's still a very analytical energy. And the King of Swords, which is why, for me, the Queen of Swords is a Virgo card for me. But the King of Swords has mastered his mentality, so he can take these facts and figures and be very rational about it. Which is not to say that he can't get agitated, because they can become very, very agitated. The difference is that they just don't listen to anything that is not reasonable. All right, so let's get some Let's get some clarification cards going here. Now with the Hermit card, there's definitely information that you're seeking here, and gleaning wisdom from it, gleaning some answers, getting those answers, getting down. So again, you have two air signs in between this fire, which could cause agitation because air, right? When you put air to fire, it blows the fire up. It causes it to excel. So that I can see where the agitation could come in there. All right, so let's look at the Page of Swords and the Eight of Cups. You have the Empress. Okay. Now this could have something to do with motherhood, female situations, pregnancy, but it's also abundance. It is nature. It is nurture. And it's creative. It's creativity itself. It's creation itself. It's the earth. It's Gaia. It's Mother Earth. Okay, so I kind of feel like we're looking for some creative solutions here. And I do think you'll find them because the Empress is abundance. So it almost seems to me like you do gather this information. It can be a bit confusing at first, but because of that Page of Swords, you graduate to the King of Swords, which means that it really does get sussed. It does get, you figure it out, right? You go from this Page of Swords trying to figure it out to the King of Swords, who is, yes, I've got it. Now, if this is a legal situation, I think it will get sussed out as well, although it may not be in these 2 weeks, because that Five of Wands is still that agitation, and that's the outcome. And so things are still getting figured out and worked out within these 2 weeks. But this is the part that we're closing out here, and I think that's a good thing. If you are a female, this can be a male in your life that you might be dealing with, because there is a lot of male energy, and the Empress is really the only female energy that I see here. Otherwise you have the Page, which I guess could be male or female. It's just a younger version, but I have 2 males here with the Kings. And I feel that the Hermit is also a masculine energy, even though it's not solar. Okay, so creative solutions here. I'm going to get one more. Yep. Good solutions. Abundance. Yes, absolutely. It's almost like, so the Page of Swords has a bit of an aggressive energy, but the Empress is saying they're a little bit less aggressive. So walking away from these emotions, you might just want to cut something off, right? But the idea, and it's very possible that it's to nurture yourself, nurture the situation. And again, if it's pregnancy or difficulty in getting pregnant or difficulty in a creative action that may have brought you some joy at one time, but you're finding it quite difficult now. This is interesting. You seem to have solutions in group situations. So these are the people, the 5 wands back here, that were arguing, that were creating agitation. And this is the creative nurturing, because 5 always pushes us to seek balance. And this is the gentler, kinder way of dealing with things, which a King of Swords probably wouldn't do because they're so cut and dry. But this is like the solution here. And this brings you victory. This brings you victory in group situations. So this is kind of back and forth energy. That's interesting. I think that's interesting. if this were there, I could say, okay, that's so again, that's what I mean by I don't think that it's completely dealt with by the end of the 2 weeks. And this is something we're closing out. So it may take a whole nother cycle to close it out completely. But here was a situation in that we're closing out that was victorious, right? That you could say you did sort of a victory lap. People were singing your praises. Um, People were happy with the situation. Things were good. And at some point, you had to leave. Now, maybe this is a pregnancy leave. That can also be it, right? You're happy in your work. You have to leave because of female issues or a mother issue, whatever. Other creative ideas, right? Because we're looking at ideas here. And this could be quite a few scenarios, and people were really happy with you. So it's very difficult to walk away from a situation where um, things brought you some pleasure, right? There was a lot of energy put in behind this Eight of Cups, behind this. There's a lot of emotion involved in whatever it is that you're walking away from, which is why it would be a heavy heart. But this is like with the Page of Swords, we're looking for something better, for something maybe even some more understanding. We're looking for more understanding is possible with these two cards as well. You could be going to women, right? Seeking information from a female who knows a lot because she's crowned here. And she's crowned with a lot of stars. So she's highly spiritual or it's that nurturing energy. So it's the motherly energy, it's kindness, it's creativity. And so these can be creative ideas that are shooting out of this person, or you can be going to them, or you could be this person, but there's a female involved or female energy involved. And things were wonderful. Things were really good. So I could see why it would be difficult to walk away from this situation. However, it could also be that things were difficult. We looked for solutions, we found them, and things got better. Okay? This is a victory lap, but we understand with this card that there's more to go, right? You're at a 6, you need to go to 10. So you're halfway there, but at the halfway mark, there's victory. There is something to celebrate, and people can speak very nicely of you. Or you of them. You may be the Empress, right, who is helping somebody to get their thoughts in order and emotions. And there's victory where that's concerned. I like that. There's another scenario for somebody out there. All right. So now you are the King of Wands. You have mastered your passions, or well on your way with the Hermit, right? Nice. You have the Knight of Cups there. This is looking for some fun. This is kind of looking to get away from the Five of Wands, which is that internal, well, it doesn't even have to be internal, it's just agitation. It can be something external that causes an internal agitation. But the Knight of Cups is, it's an emotional offer of some sort. So you could be looking for something that brings you a little bit of joy or creativity, especially with the Empress card. And that can be also looking for, again, creative solutions, right? Creative solutions to difficult problems. And creative solutions would come with the King of Wands because, again, these are people who are searching for the new, right? They crave new experience. And so looking for something that may not exist or are very hard to find because there's not a lot of it. I do feel like you should be drinking a lot more water. And I say that because the Hermit is on ice, right? It's frozen, it's inert, it's not moving. And the Knight of Cups is moving through flowing water. So water is information. And The Hermit is standing on frozen water, and it's about getting that water to move. So the King of Wands actually melts that frozen water, and it becomes fluid again. Interesting. It's a metaphor, but there's something there. So I want to get one more card for that. Creative solutions. That's all I'm saying. This is my necessity is the mother of invention card, because at the moment that you need it, a creative solution can come. And again, we're looking at 3, which matches the Empress card very, very nicely as far as I'm concerned. This is the apprenticeship card. It is somebody who has just finished, right, learning something, and they're kind of at their first position. That blue color is really coming out to me, his blue tunic and tights, and it kind of envelops the water that's around him. So we are talking about emotions, something emotional. So the Hermit is telling me that there is an emotion that is frozen, something you kind of, it feels to me like you're, how do I want to say this? Not necessarily fearful, but cautious about an emotion that you're having, and maybe finding it difficult to offer somebody else. That's for somebody specific, I think. It could even be that you are fearful. I mean, what you have just learned is something close to the heart. I do feel that creativity, and it's something that you love. There's something creative that you love that you may be a little bit like frozen, like you couldn't do it, like you were in a holding pattern or something. And then, right, the King of Wands, you kind of with your passion and your intensity, melt that and you can offer it and you become fluid again. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. You become fluid again. Your creative juices start flowing again. And you can feel like you can offer that again. This could be your wisdom, right? The things that you've learned, the things that you've accumulated in your life and that sort of thing, and have the ability now to offer that to other people and offer your creative solutions to their situations. This is definitely an offer, an emotional offer of some sort. Interesting. And it does touch the heart. I can feel it. It does. It's like an opening of the heart area, and it does touch the heart, and it does open up something here. But it has something to do with you, because the pentacles are very physical, right? It's a very physical thing. It's like you can offer your emotion in something tangible that you can offer to somebody else, right? You don't have to offer them your emotion. You offer something tangible that is attached to your emotion, that is fluid now. It's there was something very stiff that is now becoming fluid, that's now starting to flow. This is good. I like this. But I do feel a heart release. I can feel that. I can feel a lot of tension in my in the area of my heart that just seems to relax and open up now. Okay, so the Five of Wands, the King of Swords is the result, and we are looking at a leap of faith with the Fool. That's interesting. Now Libra, the King of Swords, is always looking for balance. And the interesting thing is that he has to keep his thoughts light as well, because Libra is the sign of that relates to the Justice card, and that's weighing your heart against a feather. But remember that the King of Swords doesn't take those emotions into account. He is strictly logical. And so there is this kind of leap of faith with the Fool, right? Let me take a chance. Let's see what happens. What could it hurt? And with the Fool card, there's always like, this is our connection to source. The Fool is the source. It's the seed. It's you come to this incarnation with everything you need. You may not have it immediately, everything all at once, but it's there. And if you step into something, then problem comes with solution. It's two sides of a coin. So it's right there with the problem is the solution. It's just on the other side of the coin, right? It's there. It's tangible. You can get to it. And the Fool is taking a leap of faith. So you're going to kind of be courageous by the end. And maybe you get a little bit feisty, where that kind of feeling of solidity or being frozen, all of a sudden you become fluid and you get on the roller coaster, because the Five of Wands is a roller coaster ride. I mean, five is a roller coaster. It's just the ups and downs of life, but it's exhilarating, or it can be. And the Fool is absolutely exhilaration. It's excitement for what is in front of us, what's before us that we can't possibly know. And that goes in very well with the King of Wands energy, the Aries energy, because you are trailblazers. You don't know what's going to be in front of you. You have no clue, but you're going in, and you're going in with confidence, right? The King of Wands is like, I'll deal with it as I come to it. And that's the Fool energy as well. I will deal with it as it comes. And that's Uranus, right? Those are surprises. Those are things like, wow, we don't know what's going to happen. But I got the sun on my back. And I have a helper here. I have somebody here, or my intuition, my spirit guide, if you're so inclined, people on the other side of the veil, or just my spidey senses that can tell me, watch out for this, be careful of that. And if you pay attention to that, you're well protected. But this is a leap of faith with the Fool. I am going to get one more, because I can. Ah, nice. Knight of Pentacles. I like this card. It's a slow-moving card, but that's the whole thing behind it. It's nice and steady. And it is an offer of something. And again, I really do feel like you have something to offer. So you have that Knight of Cups, which is an emotional offer that turns into something more solid. Now, you can also be offered something here. But if you look at the direction, they're kind of going out, right? The Knights are moving out of the situation. So it's probably something that you're offering, but it doesn't have to be. And this is a very good, solid offer. It's not going anywhere. It may move slowly, but this Knight of Pentacles knows the seasons. He knows when to plant. He knows when not to. He's also got that kind of logical basis of the King of Swords, but it's come through experience, right? The tangible, the physical, the pentacle. So this is not his first rodeo. You know what I mean? He's done this before, so he knows. He knows the best times to plant. He knows the best times to sow and to reap. To everything there is a season and a reason kind of energy there. But I like it. I like it a lot. And so you may have these wonderful creative solutions from past situations that you've experienced yourself that you can offer forward. And maybe you offer it to this King of Swords. That's very possible. Because you've experienced it already. You've already had the victory from these Five of Wands experiences that you've had, which is competitive energy. And it's also groups that are trying to build something together, but everybody has their own idea of how they want to do it. Right? Okay. Interesting. So it seems to me like you're closing out a situation where you've gained enough knowledge that you can help other people. Short and sweet. All right, what does Spirit want you to know? I didn't have to take in half an hour to do it. Goodness, um, that's a long reading. Okay, so your guide, or rather what does Spirit want you to know? This deck has a few extra cards in it that are not in the tarot. And this is spirit guides. So that is exactly what I was talking about here, right? Is the messenger card. And I'll just read what it says because it's not a tarot card. So you have protection. Look for divine signs. Don't disregard uh, feelings and intuitions. Don't ignore, so that's the negative side of it, right? Don't ignore what is coming your way. And the other word is unreceptive. Don't be receptive to new ideas, new information that comes in your way. It's the messenger, so it'll probably be information. Now, these two cards are both messenger cards, right? The knights are messengers, and this is an emotional message, but it's from you, and this is a practical message, okay? Could be from you, right? Or it could be from somebody else, but it's an offer of some sort. So there you go. Enjoy. Thanks for listening. I will return in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. I think this is a really good reading for you. It's progressive, and yeah, you might even see some conclusions here. And it is concluding something. So, well done. Talk to you soon. Take care, and thank you for listening. It's appreciated.